Looks like we will not see a Hi-Fi Rush sequel as Microsoft is closing down studios, including Tango Gameworks, responsible for Hi-Fi Rush, Redfall developer Arkane Austin, and more cuts at Bethesda. This is coming from IGN. This was reported a few days ago. Let's have a read. Microsoft has closed a number of Bethesda studios, including Redfall maker Arkane Austin, Hi-Fi Rush, and the Evil Within developer Tango Gameworks. And there's more cuts at Bethesda. IGN can confirm. Alpha Dog Games, maker of the mobile game Mighty Doom, will also close. Roundhouse Studios, will be absorbed by the Elder Scrolls Online developer ZeniMax Studios. Microsoft currently valued over $3 trillion. It did not say how much staff will lose their jobs, but significant layoffs are inevitable. IGN has asked Bethesda for comment. Microsoft declined to expand further when contacted by IGN. On Redfall, the disastrous vampire co-op game will now not receive promised updates, including an offline mode and new character DLC, as Microsoft has ended all development on the game. Said Redfall will remain online to play and will provide, quote, make good offer for those who bought the Hero DLC, which shown here by Arkane Studios. Today, it was announced that Arkane Austin will close and development will not continue on Redfall. To everyone who has supported our work from our Austin studio over the years, thank you. Thank you for spending time in our worlds and making them your own. Arkane Lyon will continue their focus on immersive experiences where they are hard at work on their upcoming project. Redfall players who purchase the Hero Pass as part of the Premium Byte Back Edition or the Premium Byte Back upgrade will be eligible to receive the value of the upgrade. While there will be no further updates, Redfall servers will remain online for players to enjoy. Arkane Lyon, which is working on Marvel's Blade, survives the call as Bethesda Game Studios Fallout, The Elder Scrolls Starfield, and Machine Gun Games, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Doom developer ID Software is also unaffected. As you can see here, there will be still the Redfall servers, but no more offline DLC or offline gameplay. In an email to staff sent by Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, Microsoft blamed the cuts on a quote reprioritization in titles and resources. The email was verified by IGN as below. And here's what we have on the board here. Today I'm sharing changes we are making with our Bethesda and ZeniMax teams. These changes are grounded in prioritizing high impact titles and further investing in Bethesda's portfolio of blockbuster games and beloved worlds, which have matured over the decades. To double down on these franchises and invest to build new ones requires us to look across the business to identify the opportunities and best positions for success. The prioritization of titles and resources means a few teams will be realigned to others, and some of our colleagues will be leaving us. Here are some changes going into effect. Arkane, Arkane Austin, the studio will close with some members of the team joining other studios to work on projects across Bethesda. Arkane Austin has a history of making impactful and innovative games, and it is a pedigree that everyone should be proud of. Redfall's previous update will be its last as we end all development on the game. The game and its servers will remain online for players to enjoy, and will provide make good offers to players who purchase the Hero DLC. That is for the Redfall. Alpha Dog Studios says with this one. The studio will also closely appreciate the team's creativity in bringing Doom to new players. Mighty Doom will be sunset on August 7 and will be turning off the ability for players to make any purchases in the game. Tango Gameworks, the ones who make Hi-Fi Rush. Tango Gameworks will also close. We are thankful for the contributions to Bethesda and players around the world. Hi-Fi Rush will continue to be available to players on the platforms it is today. By the way, we have another story to go over in terms of Hi-Fi Rush. We'll get to that in just a bit. Brownhouse Games, the team of Brownhouse Games will be joining ZeniMax Online Studios, or ZOS. Brownhouse has played a key role in many of our recent game launches, and bringing them into ZOS to work on the Elder Scrolls Online will mean we can do even more to grow the world that millions of players go home. And there's going to be another Elder Scrolls Online game eventually. With this consolidation of our Bethesda studio teams, so that we can invest more deeply in our portfolio of games and a new IP, a smaller number of roles across select Bethesda publishing and corporate teams will be eliminated. Those whose roles will be impacted will be notified today, and we will ask you please treat your departed colleagues with respect and compassion. We will provide our full support to those who are impacted in today's notifications and through their transitions, including severance benefits informed by local laws. These changes are not a reflection of the creativity and skill of the talented individuals at these teams or the risk they took to try new things. I acknowledge that these changes are also disruptive to various support teams across ZeniMax and Bethesda that bring our games to market. We are making these tough decisions to create capacity and to increase investment in other parts of our portfolio and focus on our priority games. Bethesda remains one of the key pillars of Xbox, with a strong portfolio of amazing games and thriving communities. As we look forward into the future, there's an impressive lineup of games on the horizon. In 2024 alone, we have Starfield Shattered Space, Fallout 76 Skyline Valley, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, this Elder Scrolls Online Golden World. As we align our plans and resources to set ourselves up for success in the complex and changing industry, our teams across Arkane Lion, Bethesda Game Studios ID, Software, Machine Games, ZeniMax Online Studios, and Bethesda publishing and corporate teams will be well positioned to build new IP, explore new game concepts, and expand our existing franchises. And this is from Matt Booty. So as you can see here in this email, a lot of studios are closing, and or some of them are joining other studios, as we see here with Roundhouse joining ZeniMax Games in terms of Bethesda, in terms of like Outer Scrolls Online. Let's continue. Microsoft's announcement at because of Bethesda come over 3 months after the company announced plans to cut 1,900 staff from its video game workforce. And amid a boom title time for Bethesda's Fallout series, following the breakout hit Prime TV show which I'm watching, the closure of Tango Gameworks hits over a year after the launch of Hi-Fi Rush, was what many consider to be one of the best Xbox games in recent years, and I agree. Tweeting in April 2023, Aaron Greenberg, VP Vice President of Xbox Games Marketing at Microsoft, addressed the concern that Hi-Fi Rush had failed to meet the sales targets, calling the game, quote, a breakout hit for us and our players in a key measurement and expectation. Greenberg continued, we couldn't be happier with what the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with the surprise release. Hi-Fi Rush launched on PS5 as part of Microsoft's new multi-platform push in March. As you can see here from Tango Works EN, today it was announced that Tango Gameworks will close. Thank you to everyone who explored the worlds we created. Hi-Fi Rush, along with Tango's previous previous titles, will remain available and playable wherever they are today. And I'm gonna tell you, I tried Hi-Fi Rush and I played it live. I loved it. That game deserved more, truly. And again, we're going to go over a second article today, talking about Hi-Fi Rush in particular. This article concludes with the following. In a series of tweets, Arkan Lion Chief Dinga Bakaba hit out hit out at the cuts, calling them, quote, absolutely terrible. To any excited to reading this, friendly reminder that video games are an entertainment cultural industry, and your business as a corporation is to take care of your artists and entertainers and help them keep great value for you. Backup said, quote, don't throw us into a goat fever gum bit. Don't use us for swabbing from miscalculated blind spots. Don't make our work environments darkness jungles. You say we make you proud when we make a good game. Make us proud when times are tough. You know you can. We've seen it before. Quote, for now, great teams are sunsetted before our eyes again. And it's a gut stab. I'm not going to say the other word. It's in there. Lion is safe, but please be tactful when discerning about all this. And respect affected folks' voice and leave it room to be heard. It's their story to tell, their feelings to express. Quote, inside baseball, if I read immersive sim curves from the community, especially from a fellow dev, I swear to God, please let the talk be real challenges instead of rehashing irrational anxieties of the past. Quote, even more inside baseball, but with a very, very wide range, as a wise, absurdly missed man said, please stop. These are the tweets by Arkane Lion, Chief, based on the cuts. And here's what the article concludes with. And I agree. I've been reading this stuff every time on Twitter. Layoffs are sweeping the video game industry with a number of high-profile studios cutting staff or shutting down in stark contrast to a year of blockbuster video game hits. One of the biggest ongoing industry trends in 2023 was the pair events of mass layoffs, and they have continued to do 2024. While actual figures are difficult to obtain, estimates suggest the number of workers laid off in video games last year approached or exceeded 10,000. A recent GDC survey of developers suggests one third of all video game developers were impacted by layoffs last year, either directly or by witnessing them happening at their company. So as we see here today in this article, layoffs are not stopping and they have continued into 2024. Last year we saw more video game layoffs and this year it's still continuing. And it happens to be on beloved games like Hi-Fi Rush, which I would like to go over an article for you guys as part of today's news. Tango Gameworks pits Hi-Fi Rush sequel before its sudden shutdown according to this report. Again, this is also on IGN. Both links will be in the description as we see here. This was updated May 8th. This was written by Kat Bailey. The other one was by Win. The other one article was written by our favorite one, Wesley Wynn Poole. So let's read this one about Tango. Tango Gameworks was in the process of pitching a Hi-Fi Rush sequel and wanted to hire additional staff before its sudden closure, according to a new Bloomberg report. The report, which you can read in this article link, which sheds additional light of the closure to Tango Gameworks and Redfall, our developer Arkane Austin claims that Xbox leadership felt that the overall studio system was, quote, spread too thin, with President Matt Booty reporting likening to it peanut butter and bread. IGN first broke the story of the closest Tuesday, along with a report that Arkane Austin was still working on DLC for Redfall before it was closed, and we just read about that a few moments ago. While little was revealed about the proposed sequel, Tango Gameworks was reportedly seeking to hire additional staff despite the departure of former founder Shinji Mikami in 2023. Xbox previously called Hi-Fi Rush a breakout hit for us and our players in all key measurements and expectations, and we read that earlier. Tango Gameworks wasn't the only studio considering a new game. Arkane Austin apparently wanted to return to its roots with a single-player immersive simulator, according to a report. Arkane Austin is famous for its work on Prey, Prey, which became a cult favorite after a difficult launch in 2017. In a follow up tweet, reporter Jason Schreier clarified that both projects were still in the pitching phase and it does consider to be years away. Both studios were ultimately shut down alongside Mighty Doom developer Alpha Dog Games. While Roundhouse Studios was absorbed by the ZeniMax Online Studios, Xbox reportedly isn't finished cutting costs as it offers surveillance to ZeniMax employees who opt out to accept a voluntary buyout. ZeniMax Studios head Jeff Baroff, as well as Matt Booty, both attributed to closures to desire to consolidate and pure more focus on fewer projects. Quote, it's hard to support 9 studios across the world with a lean, central team with an ever-growing plate of things to do. Brower reportedly said a town hall meeting, I think we're about to topple over. Xbox has been heavily cutting back its studios for much of the year, including heavy reductions to Activision Blizzard in January. The cutbacks were sparked shock and anger throughout the games industry, which has been rattled to layoffs in 2023-2024. Arkane Lion head Tinga Bakarba was among those to criticize Xbox for choosing closers, asking excessive not to throw artists and entertainers into the quote gold fever gambit. And we saw that earlier in the other article. According to the report by The Verge, there is certain uncertainty over what the future holds down for Xbox as Game Pass slows and Xbox sales drop. Tengu Saga Hellblade 2, which was slated to release between on May 21st, was briefly promoted in a tweet on Wednesday, but otherwise has received little marketing. Xbox is also reportedly considering raising the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate again as it wastes putting Call of Duty on service. And actually, there's an article about that I want to get to, but we're going to get to that next time, as it is not irrelevant in today's topic. In the meantime, developers are struggling to pick up the pieces, with former Arkane Austin developer Harvey Smith among those paying tribute to the Shattered Studios. Quote, I just want to say I love all the people at Arkane Austin so much. Great times, hard times. We went through so much together, he wrote. Of course, today's news is terrible for all of us. Your talent will lift you up, and I will do anything I can to help. And that is the end of both articles for today. And as we can see here, as we saw in today's articles, we saw that studios are going to close down. The Xbox is trying to cut down on people, and because they're trying to go central with it in terms of how many studios. And we also work saw how they're trying to force, they're trying to make sure that the game's still playable, like we saw with Arcane with the with the red game Redfall. So now I ask you, were you supporting one of these games before the shutdown? I will tell you now. I've been looking into Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush was one of those games I enjoyed playing from Tango Gameworks. I actually got to play it live on my channel before we started the whole rebrand. And I'm gonna tell you, that game was the game of the year, and I had a feeling, and it showed. It had multiple rewards. I'm not sure about game of the year, but I know the Hi-Fi Rush deserve a lot of rewards. It's this rhythm fighting game that is so unique that I don't think anybody has ever been able to replicate this, or it's hard to replicate. It's a rhythm fighting game. You you press the mouse button when you hear the rhythm, and that's pretty neat. And it's so sad to see this game go in terms of like a sequel because it would have been nice to have a sequel. But in video game land, you never know what's gonna happen, especially when you're playing with Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo. And that is gaming news for today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to comment something on the video, please do feel free to do so. Please keep it civil. These guys work so hard for their games. and it's so sad to see them laid off. Please keep it civil, okay? Especially on Twitter. You never know. All right, that's all the news. We'll see you on our next news story coming up next time. Bye bye for now.